Someone has asked how many charities will be accepted and how likely applications are to be accepted. Well, we really work very hard at making this as all-inclusive as possible. So we go out and we try to get charity champions who cover every range of charitable activity. Last year, we had around 95% of charities that applied to the challenge were actually accepted. So you've got a fantastic chance of being accepted into the challenge. Someone's asked if you can use the same project as last year. If you took part last year, that's absolutely no problem at all. You can put forward as many projects as you like, and I really would recommend putting forward any projects that you'd be happy to have funded as part of the challenge, because that'll just give you a far better chance of being accepted by one of the charity champions. And when you are accepted by one of the charity champions and you're accepted into the Christmas challenge, that does mean that you have access to that funding. You have been accepted to be funded for that particular project. Someone's asked about accessing the presentation. Yeah, like I say, we're recording all of this, so it will be uploaded to the website later on as a video with all the audio on as well. So you'll be able to access exactly what's been said and shown today later on via the Big Give homepage. So someone's asked if there are minimum amounts you need to raise in pledges. Yes, there is. That's £1,000. So the bare minimum that you have to raise is £1,000. Also, in relation to pledges as well, we ask that you estimate how much you're going to get in pledges on the application form. We're fully aware that this is an estimate, and if things aren't going so well and you look as if you're not going to hit your overall pledge target, then just let us know. You're not going to get barred from taking part in the challenge. We'll just reduce your pledge target. It's no problem at all. The challenge is very flexible, and it's flexible for you because we appreciate that you can't accurately predict how much you're able to get in this far in advance. Okay, I'm just having a look through your questions again. So someone's asked me to just reiterate what a pledge is and why people don't pay when they actually make their pledge. They don't pay when they make their pledge because it's a promise of a donation based on a condition, and that condition is that it's used to match online donations in December. If you don't get any donations in December, that condition hasn't been met, and the person who made the pledge doesn't have to pay it, which is why they don't pay it there and then. So they pay it later on. So all of your pledges you get are based on the condition that they will be used to match online donations during the December challenge phase. And your pledges will be used alongside the charity champion funding, which is the funding that we bring to the table to match all those donations. And once you've got all those online donations in, that's when the pledger actually realises or pays up on their donation. Someone's asked about do's and don'ts on the application stage. There aren't really any do's and don'ts. Like I say, put forward as many projects as you like to give yourself the best opportunity. These are the charity champions are funders like all funders you've ever come across. So they're looking for projects that fit within their charitable aims, and we will try and get you picked up by at least one of the charity champions. So I'm just having a look through your questions again. So someone's mentioned that last year some charity champions funds ran out sooner than others. Some of the sectors paused each day sooner than others. And will this happen again? It's inevitable that this will happen again because the rate of donations will differ from sector to sector. There's no way of predicting which ones will go first because it just depends how quickly each charity mobilises their donors. The important thing to remember is that there will be an equal amount of money in each sector. So you will have equal opportunity to, no matter what sector that you're in. Once each sector is paused, we will put information on the website for donors who are coming to give to your charity who may see it as paused for that particular day but not for other charities. So we will put information on the website so that donors know exactly what's going on. Someone's asked about what I touched upon earlier. about doing a project for core costs or unrestricted funding. So if you want to upload a project, you can upload a project which is basically just your charity, and any donations to that will be made by people just giving directly to your charity. So even though it's called a project, it will be for unrestricted funding. And just bear in mind that many of the charity champions, they want to fund specific projects. Again, they're exactly the same as every funder you ever come across. It's very difficult to get funders to accept core costs or unrestricted funding requests. But, why not give it a go? Unrestricted funds, I know, are invaluable for you guys. So if you can get accepted for that, it can be really beneficial. So someone's asked if other charities have approached trusts and foundations to contribute to the pledge pot previously. Yes, absolutely. Many trusts have given in the pledge phase and given in the online donation phase as well. It's something that can appeal to trusts and their trustees as much as appealing to individual philanthropists, individual donors. Someone's asked, after the challenge is finished, is there any way of finding out who your charity champion was? Yeah, you'll probably find out before. We do have some charity champions who wish to remain anonymous, but like I say, we've got people like Candice who will want to feature you in their magazine, so you'll know well in advance who your charity champion is. So once you're accepted, if we're able to tell you, we will let you know exactly who is providing the funding to help match donations to your organisation. Just got another lot of questions in, so I will try and get through those before 12 o'clock. So again, someone's asking about what proportion of charities who apply are not accepted onto the challenge. I did mention that last year 95% of charities who applied were accepted onto the challenge. The reasons why the 5% weren't, predominantly two reasons. One was that we didn't have a charity champion who wanted to support that particular type of project. But obviously, that's less than, I think that was less than 3% of charities that applied to. And the other 2 or 3%, it was because they hadn't provided their latest set of financial accounts. We do require to see everyone's financial accounts. Mostly we can view that via the Charity Commission website, but if you're a newly registered charity, we will need to see some draft accounts or your latest set of accounts, just so that we can check that you've got the capability or the capacity to take part in the challenge. Someone's asked if you can increase your pledge target if you exceed your initial estimate. Absolutely. Again, it's all about communication. If you're not on track, either going above or below what you thought you were going to get, just get in touch. We're really flexible, and some charities will lower it, some charities will want to increase it. More than likely we'll be able to increase it to whatever you like. So just get in touch with us and let us know at the first available opportunity. Someone's mentioned that we've only got very small donors, no large donors. Is that a problem? Now, this is exactly what I was talking about before. It's proportional. So, your small donor might be someone else's large donor. Your large donor might be someone else's small donor. To say that you haven't got any small donors, that can only mean that you've only got one type of donor. So you've only got people that give £10 and everyone gives £10. It's all proportional. So if you've got people that give £10 and you've got people that give £50, your £10 donors are your small donors, your £50 donors are your large donors. So don't be worried by us using the term major donors. You've got to apply that to your charity and your specific set of circumstances. If a major donor for you is £50, then great, that's your major donor. This challenge is open to everyone. It's open to everyone for a reason. It really does actually benefit the small and medium-sized charities far more than the larger organisations. And there's a couple of reasons for that. And this is backed up by all of the data that we have, all of the surveys. You're far more likely to hit your overall target if you're a small or medium-sized organisation. And the reason for this is that it requires a complete buy-in from the charity. So it requires all of your teams working together. And if a large charity has got a major donor team, it's got a regular giving team, it's very hard to coordinate all of that. Some do it and some do it well. But for the smaller organisations where it's just managed by one or two people or one or two teams, then it's much easier to get a consistent message out and coordinate everything so that it all falls into place. So don't be thinking, I'm a small charity, this doesn't work for me. If you can raise £1,000 in pledges and £2,000 online, it will work incredibly well for you, and it will probably work better for the small and medium-sized organisations as well. Okay, when you put forward loads of projects for the challenge as part of the application process, you can indicate which is your preference. So you can indicate which is your preferred project for the challenge, and we will ensure that if that can be picked up by one of the charity champions, that will be the one that's accepted into the challenge. Someone's asked what happens if your online donations aren't double the pledges. Let me just flick back to the diagram of the example that we were looking at earlier. So you're looking to get double the amount in online donations, as I've emphasised a few times now. But what happens if you don't? Well, let's have a look at this charity. Let's say that they get £25,000 in online donations rather than the 30 that they're aiming for. That means that they walk away with £25,000 in donations. They get all of their pledges because they've used up all of their pledges, and they also get £10,000 from the Charity Champion Fund as well. Just because they haven't hit their overall target doesn't mean that they don't receive anything. They still receive absolutely everything. You're allocated the Charity Champion funding every time someone makes a donation to you. So if someone makes a £10 donation to you on the Thursday morning, you've already got £2.50 from the Charity Champion Fund. So every single donation, while the Charity Champion funding is there, will be getting you money from that fund, and you don't have to hit your overall target to actually get that at the end of it.